Hello, beautiful souls. We'll see how this goes. There's been apparently a massive upgrade with my phone, which is no coincidence that I'm saying this right now because you have yourself, your operating system has been going through a massive upgrade and change. Oh, this is interesting, Spirit. So welcome. Today's day 71 of 111 days of sharing my real raw frequency and energy with you, beautiful collective, having a conversation, got some channeled information, and I guess we're going to talk about upgrades. I mean, that was kind of like when I was sitting down, but I just realized, when your software update is so vastly different than what you're used to, like it's not like a little upgrade where there's a little bit of changes, like a lot of your features are different. Like everything, like all the features on my phone are different. 4 on the timer, 17 is also significant because it looks the same but upgraded. And like these new features, you're going to have to get used to the upgrades. Very interesting tie here, weaving in here. Because my phone upgraded. Maybe you had a recent phone upgrade. Your operating system has been going through massive upgrades. And that's why I wanted to sit down and have this conversation today for you, the beautiful collective that have clicked play on my videos because you got curious. If you're following me, thank you. Much gratitude. Liking, sharing, subscribing, doing all the things because you're called to. Or I just landed in front of you because your highest self and source know that you're ready to receive my frequency and energy, my information that I share. And it's real, messy, authentic way that it is. So welcome. So yeah, my phone just went through a massive upgrade and I hit record and the camera looks different. The numbers look different. 144 on the timer is confirmation. Different numbers is confirmation. 888. You're seeing 17. You're seeing 122. You're seeing the 222s, the 422s, the 444s. Moon and ones. You're probably seeing stars and rainbows and unicorns and all of this stuff. So as leading into, we have to get used to using these new operating systems, whether it's the technology that has been greatly upgraded to the point where things look vastly different. They're the same, but they look really different, and you might have to get used to using them because again, we kind of get used to just going through the motions. So when you like switch things around, like I've mentioned, switch your apps around, delete the apps, move them around, change up the energy, and it's another way of changing up the energy. Okay, so again, your operating system has gone through massive upgrades and recalibrations over, there's a time span, but definitely over the past year and in the last 3 to 6 months for sure. And even more recently. And that's what I've been going through is massive upgrading, recalibration, integration. And it's part of just, like I said, cleaning all the debris so there's more space and there's room for the new software, the new information, the new upgrades, the new downloads, the light codes, the frequency, the energy, okay? There's more expansion, right? There's less density. You're clearing density. And that's pretty much kind of what the message is today. Just having these conversations. I apologize for the runny nose. So I'm detoxing. So my detox is just like runny nose, mucus, throat clearing, bringing up mucus, which is biofilm basically. Cleansing, so the third eye cleansing, sinuses cleansing, and then the throat chakra, okay? Also, if you went through a massive purge in December, hopefully that's it for you. But if you need to purge more, you're probably going to experience some type of another massive purge between now and spring in the next 2 to 3 months, source says. So in the next 60 to 90 days, don't be surprised if you go through either minimal, like deep, like residue purging and detoxing, or you go through another cleansing and clearing. And what that is is just trying to get your awareness that you need to change things up, whether it's your eating, your drinking, your lifestyles, your consumption of all of it. Consumption can be a whole vast of things, okay? So I know many people were really, really sick in December, purging, cleansing, detoxing. And I think people are going to experience more purging, cleansing, and detoxing. I got my spider plant here. Moved her over here because she was a little too cold by the window, so you might see her peeking in here. So again, welcome in all of the earth elements, earth, air, wind, fire, water. Earth, air, wind, fire, water, and ether. Spirit, thank you. Only light and love is welcome here. Again, you're receiving this for your highest and best always and only through unconditional love and light, through divine light, divine love, divine truth, divine power, divine wisdom, and knowledge. So welcome. All right, here we go. So we already stepped into it. Okay, you might be experiencing these symptoms. Extreme fatigue. Like for me last week, it was extreme fatigue. Extreme, like banged up, energetically banged up. The best way I could describe it, to give you a picture, a visual, which is not the best visual, is I feel like I was run over by a truck and thrown off a cliff, and while I was falling off the cliff, I was hitting everything the other way down. For you that have run marathons or Spartan races, it feels like I ran 3 or 4 Spartan races all at once, just energetically just whipped and wiped and beat up for a lot of reasons, okay? And in the best way possible. Again, it always never feels comfortable in the moment, because remember, you kind of got to get comfortable with being a little uncomfortable while we're going through these changes, because remember, we signed up for this. We signed up for this, okay? All right. So every time we choose alignment over doubt, we choose trust and love over fear, creation over consumptions. These are states of consciousness that we have decided to choose. And in that choosing, it helps us be the bridges, okay? Matrix, the movie, might be relevant for somebody. That is a documentary series. Remember, anyone could be a potential agent. That's for somebody. Maybe go rewatch those. I haven't rewatched them. I'm familiar with them, and I watched one here not too long ago, but maybe someone needs to go rewatch the Matrix series if you're just kind of stumbling upon this, or you're just beginning your awakening process. Or sometimes it's good if you've already been kind of awakening, to revisit movies. Like I've said this before, revisit movies, because you're going to see it from a completely different lens. I see movies completely differently. I see all the signs, synchronicities. I watched Now You See Me, Now You Don't. I watch those series from a completely different lens. You're going to pick up on all of the clues and the keys and the signs and the synchronicities, because everything is hidden in plain sight on both sides. Okay, good or bad, dark or light. Okay, remember, you are the bridge. Remember, you have one foot in the 3D and in the 5D. So again, why do we feel that much more exhausted, that much more tired, that much more whipped and beat up? Okay, that's the biggest part. Okay, so bridges, right? Bridges. We are the bridges. All right, so bridges hold strong and steady for those who are ready to cross. So we hold one foot in each dimension during this process, because when we sign up for, and we are built for this, and we are strong enough to do so. Okay, so strong and steady, holding the bridge, holding the path for those that are ready to cross. Remember, you signed up for this. Do you remember? Do you remember what you signed up for? All right, you remember that you signed up for this. Do you remember? Okay, you are a beacon of light, holding this beacon of light, and that beacon of light, that frequency and energy, is now rippling out into the collective. It's like an echo, right? It's like a call. All right, so again, going back to, you're not here to convince anyone. You're here just to do the work yourself, focus on you, not try to drag anyone across the awakening timeline or any of that. You're not here to convince or drag or anyone. Okay, you just focus on you. And you give others permission to do so, to do the healing work, to know that they're not going to burn up in the fire, that they're safe in those places, even when it's uncomfortable and it's dark and it can feel lonely, okay? You are clearing the final layers, okay? We're clearing these final layers. We're shedding these final layers. Remember, the year of the fire horse starts, I believe, February 17th. So again, these just final we're feeling it. If you're here, you're probably part of this. You're feeling this, okay? And again, this goes, and you're just constantly being called to do less, not more. Rest more, walk less, move less, meditate more, breathe, ground, take the baths. Self-care is so important for me and for you, if you are also part of the collective that is going through it right now. Not going through it in a bad way, right? This is part of this journey, okay? It's a sacred journey, and feel honored. Like, be honored that you chose this, right? All right, be proud of yourself. All right, so we're burning through the last bits of the karmic residue, and that's not just our personal karmic residue, that's every collective karmic residue as well. Okay, every time you choose fear, okay, when it would be easier every time you choose love over fear, every time you choose love over fear, when fear would be easier, that's a step in the right direction. That's a huge step in the right direction, okay? Especially for the collective, all right? So love over fear, even though when it would be so much easier just to fall back into the fear. Don't do it, okay? Every time you break a cycle of anger, which is huge, okay? When you choose to forgive what would be seen to be unforgivable, when you break those cycles, you're not just healing yourself, you are healing the entire lineage, your soul lineage and your blood lineage. You're clearing patterns from the collective human consciousness, okay? You are doing sacred work. Sacred right now. That is your purpose. So us that have been like, what's your purpose? What's your purpose? What's your purpose? This is your purpose right now. This is what your purpose is right here, right now. So we can move forward into that next purpose. But right now, this is your sacred journey. This is your sacred purpose. And honor that. Respect that. Have grace with yourself. Be proud of yourself, okay? You are doing the work for many people, okay, that you'll never meet. You're doing much work for people that you'll never probably ever meet, all right? But you're also building and structuring that blueprint for souls who will incarnate from 100 years from now. And then when they find the path, they'll find this path a little easier because you've already done 11:22 on the timer, the clearing, the karmic clearing, the cycle clearing, the generational curses, all of this stuff, okay? So again, it's sacred. Honor that and look at it from that point, okay? This would be what we call the great recalibration. That's what came in this morning. The final tuning of your energetic instrument, okay? So we've been going through these massive recalibrations, nervous system recalibrations, energetic recalibrations, all of our energetic bodies being recalibrated, our nervous systems being recalibrated, our light bodies, all of this has been a great recalibration. Also in integrating, it's massive integration, okay? And you have to make this less uncomfortable, that's where you have to slow down and you have to honor the rest and resting without guilt. That's huge, okay? So this is the final tuning of your instrument before the grand performance, okay? We're not worried about what the grand performance is going to be. We're just worried about what right now, okay? We focus on the here and the now and being now, right here, present. So just breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Be present. Be present in every now present moment. Be present while you're washing your laundry. Be present while you're vacuuming. I consciously vacuumed my house. Like just, mentally cleansing and clearing the space and removing old debris, okay? So consciously clean, consciously wash your dishes, consciously get into that 0 point, and you will be surprised that actually opens you up to receive more information from your team, from source, from the universe. It's a meditative state. Meditation should take place all day long in some way, shape, or form. And yes, it is super important to have more of a meditation practice, but it doesn't have to look like that. It can be an all-day thing, okay? Being present is a form of meditation. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Source. All right? It can be exhausting. I know. I feel you. I knew you or me were we, man. I feel you. I feel the exhaustion. I know. It is exhausting because you are processing your own density and also acting as a transmuter for collective fear, for collective trauma, for the collective resistance to this change, okay? But the change is happening, okay? There's no going back, forward. Your energy field is a living transformer, okay? You are stepping down cosmic frequencies so that the planet can absorb them without overwhelm, without overwhelming the system, without frying the nervous system of the earth and us, because we are her, she is he, we are we, okay? So you're stepping down these cosmic frequencies, but you're also stepping up the density of human emotion so they can be released into the light for healing, to be transmuted, to be recycled, okay? You are literally moderating the energetic exchange between heaven and earth. Heaven and earth is right here. It's a state of consciousness. It's not a place. It's a state of consciousness, okay? You are ensuring the transition is gradually enough to be sustainable. Remember, if it's not sustainable, it's not going to last. I've said this in the fitness industry forever. You have to do things that are sustainable because you don't get long-lasting results. So what we are doing now is sacred. So we are ensuring the transition that is gradual enough to be sustainable for the human race. Okay? Self-care is not an option right now. It's a must. It's an absolute. Source says it is an absolute. Your higher self says it is an absolute. Self-care is not optional. You must rest without guilt. Okay? You will need more rest. More than others. It's laughable at this point how much I've joked about the amount of rest I've needed in the past 1 to 2 years. It's completely flip-flop from how life used to be in the old paradigm, the old versions of my old self. Okay? So you need more rest, and you need to honor that. If you think you're going to do a workout in the morning, even when it's gentle, and an hour later or two, you just ain't got it, you just ain't got it. You just chill out. You rest, and you nourish, and you hydrate. Okay? You require more solitude to recharge. Confirmation burp, sorry. You require more solitude to recharge. Don't feel guilty about that. If you need to say no to commitments that maybe you made a week ago, say no. I can't. I have to rest. I need to be by myself. Okay? Why do loud environments and toxic people drain you? All right, so quickly, because you've been going through this, okay? So you probably also can resonate with being in loud environments around toxic people, drain you, like zap you. You need to separate yourself and take that solitude. You're not weak. You're stronger than an MFer. I'm going to tell you right now. You are a strong MNFer. MNFer. You are not weak. You are sensitive, yes. All right? But what you're doing is you are filtering and processing tremendous quantities of energy every single day. 17 on the timer. Thank you to my stars. Okay? When you honor your needs for recovery, for this sacred work that you're doing, this sacred energetic processing and recalibrating work that you are doing, you are not being selfish. Quit feeling guilty. You have permission to do so. Remember, I come from the health and wellness industry, health and wellness coach, nutritional coaching, all that. That was a big part of this shedding phase for me in these past few years, to let all that bullshit go. And to be okay that if I need to sit on the couch all day, I need to sit on the couch all day. And that's what happened from last week's events. Okay? You are being a responsible steward of your energetic capacity. So you are not being selfish, you're being responsible of your health, your energetic health, okay? Ensuring that you can hold this bridge in position, because remember, we are the bridges, okay? You need to take the responsibility. Don't worry about it. Be selfish as can be. Get on the self-love tour, get on that bus, okay? Because this will help ensure you that you can hold this bridge position, this 1 foot in the 3D and 1 foot in the 5D, so people can cross. You are holding the door open, okay? And this helps you to this helps you from not burning out, being overloaded, frazzled, and fried. You are the space holders. You are the field. Your energy field, Your energy field creates pockets of stability for others. Zones of peace where others can catch their breath. An anchor point, a calm center in the storm. Okay? Again, this is big work that we have been doing. So quit worrying about what's going to happen next. Worry about what's going on now, and know that what you've been doing now is big. It's sacred. Honor it and be proud of yourself. Okay? Others come to you because of this, because you give them peace. These zones of peace where they can breathe. Your energy field creates pockets of peace and stability, right? You're this anchor point. You're this calm center in the storm. You're the eye of the storm. So that's why people probably approach you very easily and open up and express and share whatever they're going through. Complete strangers. There's no coincidence. They need your energy, and you probably are helping them in some way, activate them and transmute. It's almost like transmuting, helping them ease a little bit of the burden. All right, hold on. I've got something coming through. So it's basically taking a few extra bricks, not all of their bricks, just maybe energetically taking a brick or two on, because you're able to transmute it a little easier. And by doing so, it helps them transmute a little easier without burning out, because their system's a little more delicate than yours because you've been through so much more. And again, that doesn't make one better than the other. Okay? You and me, we are the ones making this possible. Okay? We are the weavers, we are the bridge builders, the space holders, and the frequency modulators. Okay? Do you resonate? Do you remember? You and me, we volunteered for this. Okay? To be strengthened between, or sorry, you and me, we volunteered to be stretched between worlds, to hold tension in our own being. So the transition could be gentler enough for the collective to survive it. You have exceeded this beyond all measure. You've already done the heavy lifting. The heavy lifting is complete. What remains now is allowing for the integration, the rest, the gentle allowing, the soft unfolding of everything you have worked so hard to anchor in here. Remember you, remember your strength, and remember your power. Confirmation. Thank you for your services. Thank you. Thank you to me for my services. Thank you to the collective for this. 2144. For our children, for our family members, for our grandchildren, and our grandchildren's grandchildren, and so on and so forth. Thank you. Thank you to you, and thank you to me. I love you. Remember that you are limitless love and light. I am limitless love and light. I am limitless love and light. I am limitless love and light. 2211 on the timer. Remember, if you need to step into your shadow, into your dark feminine goddess, your dark empath, do so. Not from a place of, what's the word I want to say? Conflict, but basically just in a space that you're standing in your truth and your power. And always continue to be your real, raw, authentic self all of the time. And again, and honor the fact that your operating systems 2244 has been going through a massive amount of stuff in these past year. 6 months, 3 months. Mine's been a couple of years, but it's gradually this past year and more recently. And now that I understand it more, I'm able to honor it, respect it, have grace with it, be proud of myself. I'm able to rest without the guilt, honor how I feel, be patient, and focus right here, right now, and not what's going to happen in an hour or two, or tomorrow, or in a week, or in a month, or whatever, but focusing right here, right now. So I hope this message reaches those that it's meant to reach, and that it helps in some way, shape, or form, just to remind you that you're not going through this for nothing. This is huge. This is big, sacred work that we have been doing. And we're doing it so we're basically helping ease a little bit of the stress on the collective. So, like I said, we signed up for this. We signed up for this because we know we could handle it. We chose ourselves to do this work, to do the heavy lifting, so that those come up behind us have it, that they're able to do it with a little more ease, that they're able to feel safe to step into it, step into the unknown. So be proud of yourself. I am so proud of you. And again, thank you for clicking play, liking, subscribing, sharing this, all of the things if you feel called to. And again, I feel so grateful that I have this phone, this technology, even with all of its upgrades, and gonna probably make me crazy until I figure it out. 244 on the timer. I'm grateful for all of it. I'm grateful for this sacred space, the protection. I'm grateful that Source and my higher self has created massive amounts of space for me to be able to do the healing that I needed to do for myself, as well as what I'm clearing for my generations and the work for the collective. Because if I were working a traditional 9-to-5, or even if I was still having clients, you know, taking all of that on, it would have made this process probably a lot more uncomfortable. And I have all of the space because, again, I coded myself this way. I coded everything perfectly, and you coded yourself perfectly. You're doing everything perfectly. You're not behind. But I am so grateful that I have all of the time and space to do the healing work, to do the resting, to do the integration, all of the stuff. And that I'm able to have space to create content and put that out there for other beautiful souls that are also on this journey. Whether you've already been through it or you're just coming up into it. You know, it is January 21st. And again, these videos are always timeless, but I like to kind of put the date on there because it's fun to know how far in the future you received it. You know, I have things roll up in my feed, and if a date's thrown out, it was from a couple years ago. But I wasn't ready to hear it then. I was ready to hear it now. So that's how the sacred algorithm works. So continue to work with your sacred algorithm, building it up, paying your attention to what is going to nourish you, help build the knowledge, the wisdom, and quit paying your attention. Literally unplug from the bullshit. Unplug. Okay? Think for yourself. Think for yourself. I love you, beautiful souls. Until the next time, you have a beautiful rest of your day. I love you. Good job. Keep going. We're almost there.